Hey guys, it's Olivia. So today I am doing my first Q&A video in celebration of 3,000 subscribers. Earlier this week I asked you to ask me questions about anything you wanted, and 90% of the questions were about the Disney College Program and Disney. So I'm going to get through as many questions as I can. I have my laptop right here. Before I start, I want to say two things real quick. First of all, your comments about the Bacon family in my storytime video are cracking me up. So thank you for being so lighthearted about the situation and just taking it as a funny story like I did. The other thing is, in that video I say that there's a little boy, maybe from Mexico or Brazil, and I thought he was speaking Spanish. And so a lot of you have not so kindly reminded me that they speak Portuguese in Brazil, not Spanish. Might come as a surprise, but I do edit my videos, and so in that video I explained like, oh, I think I just said that he was speaking Spanish, but I said he was from Brazil, and I clarified that I know they speak Portuguese there, but I cut all of that out because it took way too long. So I appreciate your guys' concern for my education, but trust me, I am well aware and I just misspoke. Anyway, let's get started with the questions. So first, I'm gonna kind of answer these in chunks with like what the topic is. So the first one, Neverland is Home, said, do you know if you can get apartments in Florida that are closer than the DCP ones, and is there a lot of traffic? Would you recommend staying in DCP housing or finding your own apartment? And someone said, what housing did you live in? Another person asked about how the bus system works and if it would be easier to bus to downtown Disney and then take the bus to the park from there, because I mentioned it does take a long time. So starting at the beginning, I lived in Chatham housing. And what I really like about the Disney housing is you're not on a lease. So when you move there, your program, however long it is, it's 4.5 months. You stay there for 4.5 months and you're not committed to paying it or taking care of it or anything like that after your time is up. So that is what's really nice about the Disney apartments. There are a ton of apartments in Orlando. There's a ton around DCP housing. There are several closer. There's some right behind Magic Kingdom, but again, I don't really know how the lease situation works. So I know that some people who have end up going full-time or part-time afterwards, then they'll move off, or if they extend and decide they want to actually stay in Florida, they will move off and get an apartment. So honestly, it's up to you. It depends on if you're going to stay or not. And yeah, okay, so someone also asked about bringing their car along with like the bus system thing. So if you have the opportunity to bring your car, I would say bring your car. The buses, why it takes so long, and why, to answer, I don't know who asked it, someone asked about busing downtown Disney and then to the park. I don't think that'd really make a difference, because the thing is, it doesn't take long to get places. It's the fact that the bus, when they stop at Vista Way, they stop there for like 25 minutes to 30 minutes. So that's when they take their breaks. So for example, Chatham was the last stop before getting to Animal Kingdom. So my bus ride to Animal Kingdom was 20 to 25 minutes, and it only takes 15 to 25 minutes to get there by car. So it was the same. But coming home, it took a solid hour because we did have to do all the different stops. And then it stopped at Vista Way for 25 to 30 minutes. So then towards the end there, I got good with switching buses, even if it only got me home like 3 minutes earlier. So if you have a car, I definitely say bring it, and then it's not going to help if you bus to like Disney Springs or anything like that, because the problem is Vista Way. Okay, so next question is from Bethany Baker, and she says, what was a typical park visit to you? Go-to rides, characters to meet, places that you ate all the time? Did you spend long days at Disney or only go to spend a couple of hours? So my roommates and I kind of quickly realized that it's really difficult to spend like 8, 10, or 12 hours at Disney World, especially when it would be like for me, it was always like my one day off a week, or even if you have 2 or 3 days off, it's really hard to spend a really long, exhausting day at the place that you work. So we would go for like 4 to 6 hours at a time. My go-tos, it depended on the park. If it was Magic Kingdom, I would definitely see Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, and I would try to see the parade if I was there at that time. I didn't really have any go-to rides for Magic Kingdom. It was just kind of what we were in the mood for that day and what we could get fast passes for. For Animal Kingdom, definitely Expedition Everest was my favorite ride. Just go in the single rider's lane and you can, like, I rode it 4 times in a row, maybe 5, I think 4. 4 times in a row. I also, at Animal Kingdom, would always watch Festival of the Lion King. And then at Epcot, I always loved meeting Pluto at Epcot. I don't know why, but like when you walk into the World Showcase, he's right to the left before you get to Mexico. So I would always love meeting him. Anna and Elsa were always great too, because the line at Sommerhus in Norway it wasn't ever really that long. It was only like a 15-20 minute wait. So they were always great to meet in Epcot as well. And I only went to Hollywood Studios a couple of times. I wasn't a big fan of Hollywood Studios. A lot of the park is under construction, but Fantasmic, obviously, and watching the Stormtroopers do the march were my favorite parts of that park. Graceful Rachel asks, what is your favorite ride at Disney? Okay, so at Disneyland, okay, let me just say, the rides that are duplicates at Disneyland and Disney World, Disneyland's rides are better. Like Pirates, Space Mountain, other duplicates, Haunted Mansion, just all the ones that are duplicates. Disneyland's and Anaheim's is so much better. So I wasn't a fan of those at at Disney World, but definitely Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was my favorite. I've only been on the one at Disneyland once because it's literally always breaking down. So even though I've been there several times, only got on it once. But I loved the one at Disney World. Expedition Everest was awesome as well. Soarin' Over the World in Epcot, they just changed it. I guess it was Soarin' Over California, which I've been on at Disneyland, and I love that ride. And Soarin' Over the World was amazing as well. So Hannah Shine asks, what is your dream character to play at Disney? Okay, if I was the right height, I would love to hang out with Rapunzel. She is my favorite. That's my favorite Disney princess movie, which I think is actually answering someone else's question. But she's my favorite Disney character. But realistically, I would love to hang out with a certain Tinker Talent Pixie in Neverland. That's my dream. That, you know, if I get to go to graduate school in Southern California, I'm be auditioning for that. Chrissy Mouse says, do you ever plan on doing the Disney College program again? No. I do not. I love my time in Florida, but I'm definitely never going to Florida again. I don't like humidity. If the Disney College program here in Anaheim had the opportunity to be a character performer, I would do it right after I graduate. I'm graduating in December, so I would do the program that's like January through May. They decide in the next couple months to change the, what would it be, spring 2018 to add character performers at Disneyland, then I would do it, but at this point, I don't foresee myself doing one again. Gabriella asked me about the Disney International program. She says she lives in Canada and wants to do the Disney College program, but I think you have to go to the School for USA for that. Is that right? Blah, blah. Okay, so I personally do not know that much about the international cultural program. I know that if you're from Canada, you can apply for that. I have known people from Australia and New Zealand and all of Europe and Brazil, Japan, Mexico, from all over. I don't know the exact details about it, but if you go on the Disney Programs blog website, it will have all that information and tell you what you want to know. Matt, with a koala as his profile picture, says, did you have to work on Christmas or New Year's Eve as an intern? Oh, Matt, as an intern, you are given the shifts that, not necessarily that no one else wants, but where they need you. And oftentimes, yes, I did work Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas. I actually left right before New Year's, but I think my roommates did work it, plan on working it. So yeah, you're gonna work all of the holidays. Joshua asks, what is your favorite place to eat at Disney World? His favorite is 50's Primetime Cafe. So, a lot of you guys are like new to my channel, so you don't really know, but at the end of my sophomore year of college, I got a ton of food allergies. So I was allergic to 45 different ingredients, like wheat, corn, soy, potatoes, tomatoes, like literally everything. And so I didn't eat in the parks when I went. But the one treat that I did have was at Animal Kingdom. When you're going from like Discovery Island into Africa, if you go diagonal to the right, there is this little place, this building, and you order from the outside, and they have something called, like, I want to say it's a double chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich thing. I went there and I was expecting it to be like a frozen, like in a little plastic bag that I have to, you know, open up. It wasn't gonna be that good, but it was amazing. It's actual really big chocolate cookies, and not like chocolate chip, but like actual, the dough is brown like chocolate with chocolate chips in it, and French vanilla ice cream in the middle. So that was definitely my favorite treat. I forget the place that it's called, but it's going into Africa, and it's right across the place where there's the pins and all the banging drums and stuff. G. Bree asks, what are the expectations versus reality of the DCP, like for housing, your rule, roommates, etc.? Love your videos. Thanks for watching my videos. So if you go to my other video where I said my honest thoughts about the DCP, I kind of talk about it more with my role and how it was what I expected, but it wasn't what I expected. For housing, okay, so I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 people. So there were 3 girls to a room, and then 3 girls to a bathroom as well. So I was not expecting that because I had linked up with 3 other girls, and we had wanted a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. It ended up being fine, but it was a lot of people in a small amount of space. And then for roommates, it ended up going pretty well. We got randomly assigned 2 girls, and one of them went kind of psycho at the end, so I'll make a video about that in the future, about my psycho roommate who tried to get us all termed. So yeah, I would say if you can link up with people, do that. I really, really miss and love the girls that I roomed with, aside from the crazy one. But yeah, the roommate thing was great. We did go to the parks a lot, went down to Disney, shopping, just did a lot of things together, and it was awesome, and I missed them so much. Drewback47 says, when you worked at Disney, what was your favorite park to work in, and what was your favorite park to visit as a guest? My favorite park to work in was definitely Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is the smallest Disney park over there in Disney World, and it's just the vibe there. All the cast members are so nice and friendly, and it's just a lot more laid back, especially compared to Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom stressed me out. I love working Crystal Palace, but I gave away all my other shifts there because working there was just too high stress, high maintenance for me. Epcot days were always really fun as well, and I would go out during lunch and meet characters or just walk around Food and Wine. That was definitely my favorite. And then as a guest, it honestly just depended on what mood I was in. If I had worked a week in Epcot, then I didn't want to go to Epcot. But if I had just spent a lot of time in Magic Kingdom, I didn't necessarily want to be in Magic Kingdom. So yeah, it just depended on the day and what mood we were in. Krista Speck asks, when you hang out with more than one character, do you go through the training for all of them during that first training week, or is it more like you train to hang out with one, and then you go back and train for more? But we trained as 2 different characters, and for a total I was assigned 5 different characters. So during training I did have to learn 4 different signatures, and I was tested on those, but I only actually trained as 2 characters. Then after that, you are supposed to, by yourself, you have access to certain resources that help you with learning how to be the other character. And then I personally, if I was going to go work a shift that I had never done before, on my day off I would go kind of scout out that location. So I would actually go meet the characters as a guest, just so I could see what it was like, what even the line was like, and how far back in the line can you see the characters. Like, is it Pete's Silly Sideshow, where from the second you walk in the door you can see the characters? Or is it more like Adventure Outpost, where you don't see the characters until you're the next family in line? So I would go scout that out, see what the music was like, what the set was like, what the costumes were like, etc. And I would also definitely use my other cast members as resources. So I would say, hey, I'm doing this character in a couple of days. I've never done them before. Can you give me any tips on how they walk or how to do their signature correctly? Can you tell me if the signature looks right to you? So you're only technically trained as 2, and then you just kind of have to figure it out as you go. Andrea says, is it possible to do the DCP if you have graduated with your bachelor's, like to have the experience after having a bachelor's degree before entering graduate school? So yes, you can most definitely do that. So how it works, I think it's you have to be starting the program within 6 months of you graduating. So for example, if you graduate in spring 2017, then you could do the fall 2017 program. It might be within 6 months is when you can apply. It's something like that. But you definitely can do it. It has more details on the Disney Programs blog website. It has all that information, but you can do it after you get your bachelor's degree. Nina Patton says, as a DCP, do you get free passes for visitors as well, or just for yourself? And if so, how many? So, like I said earlier, unless I edited that part out, as a DCP, you are treated as far as benefits as seasonal cast members. So I believe so you have your main gate for yourself, so you can get into the park whenever you want. I think it's called self-admission pass, technically. So yeah, you get into the park yourself, and then after 150 hours work, you get 3 guest passes. Then after 300 hours, you get 3 guest passes. Then after 600 hours, you get another 3 guest passes. But once you reach that, like I reached that in my 4 months of working, but that's for the whole year. That's how many you'll earn the whole year. So if you do extend, it's not like you can keep earning them. You can only earn a total of 9 per year. Ayla Armstrong says, after your DCP was over, did you have/get offered the opportunity to pursue full part seasonal work at Disney? So how it works is 6 weeks before your program ends, you can apply to go seasonal, part-time, or full-time, and then you'll find out. I personally didn't do that because I knew I wasn't staying. So it's not something you get offered, it's something you have to apply to beforehand. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Sorry I didn't get to all the questions, but I got through as many as I could. I'm probably gonna need to do a different Q&A for Davis stuff because I definitely did not get to those questions, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and it answered some of the questions you were wondering about the Disney College program and working at Disney World. Thank you again for 3,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you for all your support. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, you should share my videos with your friends and stuff so that more people can see them and I get even more subscribers. So yeah, thank you again for everything. Hope you love this video. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.